Well, ladies and gentlemen, what is up? People asking, what about the shooting? What am I talking about? There was a shooting today at, I believe, an elementary school in Wisconsin. And you know how these things go. It's like a political war field with the right and the left trying to determine who the shooter is and who can get the political edge based on whoever it is. And this is kind of a weird one. It was a girl, and they were not trans from what I've seen. I know there's a lot of information about them being trans, but I don't think they were. CNN trying to spin gun control per usual. Well, it's gonna take a lot of sting out of their argument. It was a handgun that was used, and the whole gun control thing is kind of funny because they really stopped discussing gun control during the election, and they said that's a losing issue. We don't want to take your guns. Remember, Kamala said, I own a pistol or whatever, and Walz was like, I go out, I go hunt. So they were trying to not really talk about that. Are they trying to spin it? I mean, it wouldn't surprise me, honestly. It was a few miles away from your school. That's scary, man. Did she have colored hair? No, it was like, I don't know. I saw the manifesto. This is the chick. No, I don't. I mean, this is like The thing is with right wing people. I mean, I don't think she was trans, but then people just say it, and then it's like, all right. I mean, does everything that happens have to be politicized? Yeah, that's what happens now. Every single thing is. Well, dude, you know what I noticed? Like, there's so many people that used to be either, and I guess, although I don't think I'm right, I always cared about politics, but just like there's so many people that are way more bigger than me that used to just be known for one thing, and then it's just it's like everyone talks politics now. It's like you can't escape it. She's hot. Come on, man. Yeah, I think she's a minor, anyways. She was non-binary. I don't know, dude. Some girl had her manifesto, and I don't think that's true. I mean, she had a boyfriend. I think they said they're doing a worshiping session for Luigi. It looks like. I think the girl was 17, not 15. What did you think of Trump's news conference today? Yeah, I'm gonna react to that, I guess, a little bit. There were a lot of clips that came from that. Maybe I'll just react to the entire thing because there were a lot of clips I saw. There's a lot of interesting stuff in there. Or I'll just look up Trump and just see the best clips. There are a lot of people out there who shouldn't have a foot in politics and just spew fucking garbage and are completely clueless. Well, it's honestly not even about that, but like I know people that have huge platforms and they got huge platforms doing something else, and now they're talking politics. I mean, it's almost like people are so power hungry. And honestly, if you could classify me as that, I guess. Although it was kind of, I was never that big. It's like, I don't know. She looks like a yeah, she looks trailer park. Big cities are terrible. Leave them now. Move to rural areas. I couldn't live in an actual rural area. I do need like some people around. Like, I mean, I could live in like definitely. I mean, you need people around you. I think, but not a big city. No way. I think that'd be horrible. But I need land. You want to own land, but like living where there's like no houses a mile away. That's you know, ideally you'd live in like just outside of a smaller city that has everything you need. Like it's got a Target, it's got decent grocery stores, decent restaurants. It's not, but it's not like a downtown area, because when you get like a downtown city, it brings in certain people and it becomes a problem. And then you just live outside of that, and you have like a nice like a half acre, maybe an acre, something like that. She doing the okay sign, yeah, that's a white power sign. I think that was to try and confuse people, honestly. Yeah, what's happening to Justin Trudeau? I don't know what the odds on the Canadian election in 2025 are, but they're like he's dropping out or some shit. The shirt she has is the same one the Columbine shooter had. Yeah, they liked that band, Eric Harris and Klebold. Airy PA would be perfect if it's not cold AF. Yeah, I mean, you get like a people try and find the perfect medium, and they normally decide on like North Carolina, but North Carolina I think is getting slightly more liberal. Even start like you go to Charlotte, obviously Charlotte's going to be liberal, but the surrounding suburbs get more liberal as well. What happened to your video talking about why Trump needed to win? I think all my videos are still up. I don't think any of my videos have gotten taken down. The only videos that have gotten taken down was like if there was a copyright problem. How much would someone have to give you to live in Manhattan, New York? I'm really not like a like I could never live in a big city like that, but I'm not I think big cities can be cool. I do. I know most Republicans they just can't stand them and they just hate them no matter what. I mean, I've been when I went to Chicago when I was younger, being in a big city and like walking to these stores, I mean, it was kind of fun. I mean, I could never live there, but I don't really totally despise the big cities, but I do despise what they stand for, because really what big cities stand for is government control, because you're fully reliant. I mean, not everyone, but the lifestyle is you own no land, you live in a small apartment, and you're fully reliant on public transportation. You're totally reliant on the government and you own nothing. I mean, that is the lifestyle. That would be a fun video to break down. It's just not a good promotion, not a good way of living. You want to be able to own something. You think she stole the gun from her home? Apparently, she got. This is what happens with a lot of these shooters. She got it gifted to her. It was a pistol as a birthday present, I guess. Anyone know the name of the shooting? Wisconsin shooting, I think, school shooting. What happened with? Oh, you're talking about with Trudeau. Top minister resigned today. She was a regular on Bill Maher, and she's also the heir to Klaus Schwab's throne at the WE. Wow, I'll have to look into that. So she resigned, and now that kicks off the. You know what? There's probably speculation on Polymarket about him stepping down by a certain date. When are you going to start doing March Madness bracketology again? Um, Normally I do. I have one of those done by now. You know how I do the bracketology videos, the 1.0. Remember the 2.0? I don't know why I started doing those. I think it was like Lenardi was doing like updates and he would say 1.0, 2.0, and then I just used that. So I've been doing that the last 2 years. I mean, those videos, I guess I could start. I don't really. The conference play hasn't even started, so it's like Biden is demanding gun control. Well, I'm sure it's some self-righteous, like, we're going to make you feel guilty type response. Maybe I got the wrong one. Oh, Biden is alive. Let's watch him. Join the First Lady as me as we host Hanukkah. Oh my goodness. We need Congress to act. They're grieving the loss of those killed and wounded. Congress to act on what? This was a handgun. What should they act on? I thought they didn't want to do anything with handguns. You mean the 15-minute cities they're building in China and the line they're built? Yeah, but I don't think the line is going to happen. It's not practical. I don't even think they've started. They only dug out the foundation of the line. But the line is something totally different. I mean, it would be, that's like a different experience. You're living in a desert in like a enclosed like wall. But I mean, in China, they're always going to have cities like that because their population density is so crazy. But I mean, China, it's a different thing. I mean, in New York, you could actually have a high quality of life while living in a very high densely populated area. In China, unless you're really rich, you're really not going to have that. So many of those people are just so poor, and they just live on top of each other. Trans shooter. Listen, man, I got to be honest. From what I've seen, it was not a trans shooter. It was a biological female. But you know what? Maybe other stuff will come out. I don't know. But I know that's Republicans are saying it's a trans shooter. There was the trans shooter in Nashville. You literally pardoned your own son's gun charges. Well, I don't even think the pardon was for the son's gun charges. Why would you why did he pardon his son back to 2014? I wonder why that, if he's so innocent. Oh, it's because he's committed crimes tied to his father dating back a decade, but now they can't investigate it. It's a miracle. But no, they're not corrupt at all. Trump's the big bad evil one. Oh, it's fine, guys. Don't worry. It's not a double standard. James Franklin said that the college football playoff and the transfer portal is a better problem after. Yeah, no, it is a problem. It was a femcell. Yeah, that makes sense. Non-binary means yeah, non-binary is in the trans realm. Were they non-binary? I don't think they were. I think it was just a girl. There are photos of the guy before he started acting like a girl. 99% of criminals get their guns under illegal circumstances, so gun control gives the terrorists for. Well, yeah, but it's just that's not even. I don't even know why Democrats are even still trying to push this. It's not. You cannot do a gun grab against. There's too many guns in circulation in the United States. It's impossible. I mean, you would have to be full authoritarian, just totally disregard the entire Constitution and our rights to even enact something like that, and then people would still hide them. There's just too many guns out there in the United States at this point to do anything like that. Originally I was like, well, they're going to try and go after the, semi-automatics and things like that, and then eventually they'll get to the handguns, but I just think there's too many guns in the population at this point to be able to do anything like that. Where will Malik Murphy transfer? I don't know, man. That entire portal is such a mess. Who knows? I mean, we don't know who needs a quarterback. But it's just like, but that system is so terrible. Who do you think is worse, Biden or Kamala? I think they're interchangeable. I thought they were interchangeable during the I mean, with the Democrats, it's really not a figurehead to them. The leader of their party is not the people that are blamed. Like when Biden gets blamed for all this shit and stuff, like he's not doing anything. He's not the real one at fault. I mean, maybe Biden 10, 15 years ago, you could say he'd have some say in some, but like no Democrat worth a damn would ever let this dude in this condition make a decision regarding the future of the United States or whatever they want to push. He doesn't have a future. A lot of these other people that weren't elected, they do have futures behind the scenes. And so I know it's such a cookie cutter answer that everyone gives, but that's really what's going on. Biden and Harris they're the same thing. It's just a cog, it's a mechanism. They're a machine. It's just like how YouTube is. You really can't blame anyone at the top. There's no it's just a machine. It's a company and that's how they want it. They want you, you're not allowed to blame anyone. It's just you just get overwhelmed by the force of the company. Like if I got banned or anything, what person, what individual am I blaming? There's just no. It's just not. It's just a company. It's like when you're under the rule of communism and it's just the government. Everything is the government, and there's really nobody to blame but the government. Should they take the shootings off the news? Well, the problem is that the news is all about making money and incentives through views, and that's how they get profit. And the shootings get them views, and that's terrible, but that's just what it is. But yeah, a lot of like, dude, honestly, with someone like this, I don't even care about their manifesto. But the only reason I'm interested is because I'm in the political sector, so I have to see. Oh, let's see the shooter. Is it a white male? Are they going to try and pin this on us? And so you have to go through that whole charade because there's a shooting and then everyone's like, oh, it's this, it's that, it's the other. But I mean, a lot of the recent shootings have not been white males. That was a narrative that needs to be dispelled, and a lot of the recent ones have not been. Wait, it was a girl reporting was weird. Dude, let's be honest with how X is. Pretty much anytime there's live reports on stuff, the reports are going to be weird. I mean, people just say shit on here. Like, I mean, I was trying to get updates on this, and I was just like, bro. I mean, I've seen like 7 different things from people claiming, and I mean, these are like relatively big accounts too, but it really just doesn't matter. These people just spew whatever they want. It gets them interactions, and whatever the truth is, it's like, and that's fine. That's what X is. But how many Western world leaders and other world leaders can we count are globalist puppets? My guess is 130, 150. Well, I mean, I can't give you a number, but I think when you get in, I mean, look at someone like Trump. You can even see Trump doing certain things because he has to placate to certain people. I feel like when you get in, it's a totally different ballgame, and you immediately know who daddy is. And if you want to get anything passed or do anything, there's just so many other pieces that have to fit together. And I guess that is the separation of powers. You can't have somebody, but it's just so hard to get things passed that are preferable for Republican politics, just because of I mean, even these confirmations, you can't even get people confirmed. You win everything, you win every swing state, and it's like, no, now, this election happened, we voted for this, we voted for who Trump wants, but they can't go in. But no, most of them are gonna get confirmed, but it's just kind of funny. Someone found their Reddit, they want all men dead. Yeah, this was just this person is sick in the head. This is how they all are, though, when they do this. I mean, it's obvious you do something like this, there's gonna be some serious problems. Why are they already trying to add teams to the college football playoff? They want money, they want more games. And they're going to add even more games now. If you saw my one video I did, they're going to add even more games to the conference championship weekend, because conference championship weekend now is becoming a problem for them, and it's like teams don't even want to play because it's a waste of time. So they're like, well, we'll make you play by adding more games, and now it's all for seeding. Not kidding. Libs of TikTok are organizing a protest group. What do they have it advertised here? What do you mean a protest group? Oh yeah, this is the dude that fainted last night. It's good to see he's all right. He fainted at an event while speaking. Your liberal dad was spewing nonsense about Derek Chauvin. Was released by far the right to start the shooting. No joke, he said that. Well, that whole thing, I mean, the Floyd stuff, that was totally hijacked by the liberal mainstream media, and they caused those riots. I mean, that's why they happened. I mean, BLM tried doing the same thing. It's just it's not going to have any juice with Daniel Perry. Reddit is useful for other topics, but politics absolutely not. Well, yeah, I mean, with Reddit, it's I've said it multiple times. I think Reddit is good for a lot of stuff, um, because it actually has nuance and even AI. If you want to ask a question, a hypothetical question, whether it's ChatGPT or Elon Musk's AI, there might be a few other AI systems, but the AI is pretty good with nuance. Although something like ChatGPT, it is very left wing, and it's like I think Elon Musk thing is also left wing as well, from what I've tested, but it's less. But you'll get more nuance with the AI answers. Google is just useless to use. You can't use Google anymore. Do you recall any shootings when MySpace was still around? I was a bit young for MySpace, honestly. I never had a MySpace. Group of people claiming they will ensure Trump isn't sworn in on January 20th. They're irrelevant. You know what? I'd love to see their big liberal event and embarrass themselves. See, like this is the girl that said she had it. I've contacted with the alleged boyfriend of the Wisconsin shooter. Ferris very graciously provided me the manifesto, and then it's like this manifesto is 6 pages long. War against humanity. Oh, that's so edgy. Wow. But I mean, this is like a 17-year-old, so you can see why I was so just it's cringe. Did you paint your wall since the election? No, it's the same. Yeah, the Lego structures, they're right there. I moved the Lego structures, I guess, because I don't even know why I moved them. I was gonna put up this like seal. I mean, I do like the American flag. I think it looks pretty badass. I mean, if you look at our flag, I think the best way you can judge a flag is like if you have all like a bunch of flags and they're all very small and you can just see the detail on them. I think the US flag is badass, but I think the US seal is even like with the eagle. So I got like a big wall art of that. I was gonna put it up back there, but I don't have a frame for it. So I moved the Legos over, and now the Legos are still here. But Google is terrible. Yeah, Google is and they're not fixing it either. They're just putting more ads in it. She claims her family didn't love her or want her and expresses feeling like the wrong child of her family. Yeah, there's a lot of girls that feel alone. They don't shoot up a school. Oh my goodness. I mean, guys, I need to like put my age in the. This is the thing. It's like you need to put your state, you need to put your age. What is another question I always get asked? Well, I live in Ohio. I'm 25. That's what I'll say. Do you have any Minecraft Legos? I don't even know what that is. Mine. Oh, there. I think there are mine. I don't have any, but I know those are for younger kids, man. Come on. Can we discuss the absolute disrespect that Boise State is receiving? Be on the right side of college football history. What do you mean with Genty? I thought Genty should have won the Heisman. It's unfortunate. It was kind of hijacked with the whole Hunter and Dion stuff, but it's not too surprising. Did you see the Lily Phillips girl and how she immediately regretted having 100? Well, that's just disgusting. I mean, yeah, she cried right after. Well, that's just she has sex with 100 dudes in a day, and it's like she thinks it's like this funny thing, and it's you just traumatized yourself. And then I'm sure we'll probably hear her during 3 months from now or whatever, reflecting on it after on a podcast and say, "Oh, I regret it, and I'm in therapy or something, and I found God or something." It's just like it's all the same playbook. It's like, what are you doing? You just traumatized yourself. Who are those Russian names? Oh, I know this dude's a. I think they're all school shooters. I know that the Vlad dude is a school shooter. That's who those people are. Like school attacks, things like that. Will you be streaming the Trump inauguration? Yeah, I should. I mean, I should be streaming it. I don't see. It's the 20th, so I mean, it's still over a month away. Talk about WNBA. I mean, the only thing I know is Caitlin Clark and that the black players hate her. That's pretty much all I know. The people she admired did mass shootings. Yeah, she said she was going to do 1,000 in a day. Yeah, she probably made a lot of money, but she just ruins her entire. I mean, you ruin everything. No amount of money is worth what you've done. I mean, it's like when that happens, your entire self value is just gone when you do something like that. What is your most liberal non-Republican belief? Um, well, I mean, I do in theory think that everybody should have access, to healthcare, but it becomes difficult on how we get there. I also am big on renewable energy. You know what? I would say renewable energy over that. I would say renewable energy, mainly wind, solar, and nuclear. There's my liberal belief. But I actually, it's like, you know what? That's kind of a cop out because most Republicans like nuclear. Caitlin Clark is not straight, bro. I think she has a husband. No, I don't know. I thought she had a boyfriend or something. How is she not raw down there? It's probably like it's wide open. I mean, it's just another shooting. Yeah, there was another shooting that happened today, unfortunately. This is the weakest manifesto. Oh, you can see it if you want. Here it is right here. I'm not reading this crap. I mean, I did read some of it. Wait, I didn't read that part. Oh, maybe that's a little bit. But yeah, I mean, wait, this is the boyfriend, or I mean, her boyfriend describes her as being kind, generous towards him, and cheerful. He describes her as always making him gifts and never expecting anything in return. Get rid of buys in the college football playoff bracket. Um, yeah, I mean, we'll have to see. I mean, I still think there's going to be buys if it's 14 teams, right? There'll be buys. Oh no, maybe 1v14, 2v13. I guess they might get rid of buys then. When I turn 18, should I vote for Vance? I mean, you got to do whatever you believe, man. I think what's going to happen now. I'll tell you guys the funny thing. The loophole for Trump to run again is him technically maybe being able to run as VP for Vance, and then Vance immediately steps down, and then Trump becomes It might be possible. I mean, honestly, I really don't want Trump to serve again, but if Trump does have a good term, we know how Trump is. I just think his age is too old. I'm not going to get into that. But there is like a way. I was reading about it because I was interested. Like, well, is it possible? And they're like, well, if he becomes the VP to Vance, technically it's like an interpretation of the 12th and the 22nd Amendment, where, obviously if Vance runs, it would be the idea of if you elect Vance, Vance will immediately step down and Trump will be president again. I mean, no, Trump could do something like that just because he's Trump, honestly, but is she still alive? The shooter, no. You vote for Barron? I mean, Barron might be like 2040 or something. I don't know, something like that. 2044 would it be? Odds on Poly Market Trump third term. I don't think they have that, man. We can look at some of the new stuff they've got. What is this, a penguin? Trump favorability rating. Let's take a look at this. Inauguration day positive favorability rating. I would say yes. I would say based off of the things we've seen, I would imagine it would start +2 or +3 based off the polls that I've seen. Trump has said privately he's nominated Laura Trump to succeed him as the leader of the MAGA movement over Don and Eric. What do you mean, as the leader? But what does that mean? Is she going to run for president then? So obnoxious that everyone just assumes shooter white male at this point. Well, it's totally false. I mean, look at like the last 10. I mean, I think like 7 of the last 10 have not been white males. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a white male. That's just what it is. Vivek 2028. Yeah, it's going to be tough for Vivek with Vance in his way. I mean, we'll have to see what ends up happening with Vance, though. What's Trump's beef with Don Jr.? Um, I, I don't know. Does Trump have a beef? I feel like Don Jr. is more actively involved in Trump's political career than Eric is. So I don't know. Did she kill herself or did the police kill her? I think she did it. Barron will never fill his father's shoes, in my opinion. Well, it's impossible to even begin to discuss that, Tommy. I tend to agree with you, honestly. I want to hear the kid do a public speech. Well, I mean, he's only 18, so you guess you gotta wait. But I thought the U.S. was sick of dynasties. Yeah, I mean, technically that would be kind of a little bit different though, because for Barron it would be a while. But I understand. I like that this chat doesn't really want Barron because there's a lot of Trump supporters that are just like all they're like a lot of these Republicans that have latched themselves onto Trump. They're just all Trump all the time. Ivanka, Don Jr., whoever it is, Eric, but it's not gonna be Eric and Barron, Laura. Probably after Vance does his 1 to 2 terms, she would come in. Yeah, but why would Vance only do 1 term? when he, I mean, he would pretty much be guaranteed to do another. So you'd say Vance would do one term. I mean, it's really impossible to predict this, but Vance is probably a slight favorite right now. But it's like it's one of those things with America. They always go back and forth. So, but I mean, I like it wouldn't shock me if Trump does well enough and there's no crazy pandemic or anything. I think Trump would do well enough. Like Trump to me has a very easy softball, which is the immigration issue, like the immigration problem. And I know liberals are going to try and swing it as like he's a dictator and stuff, but I think people will be able to see through that. And I mean, they voted for this. They wanted these deportations to happen. There's going to be people getting ripped out and having to leave. It's, you know, it has to happen. And so to me, that's like a softball. Like getting immigration down to like 2020 levels of, or around there, if Trump can do that, finish the wall. Like those are very easy things Trump can do. And he's got support of the country. So he's got the funding for the wall now to finish it. And it's like that stuff's going to happen. So he's already going to be off to a good start. And then Russia, Ukraine. I think, you know, I mean, I don't know this to be true, but I think there is a lot of fear mongering among Republican circles to make it like when Trump is able to bring peace to this, like there's going to be a huge emphasis on Trump avoided World War III if he's able to broker a peace deal. And I think there's a lot of Republican people who want to give Trump that, you know, kudos. So they're like, oh, this is a real bad, this is going to be World War III. Trump needs to save everything. It's so close to World War. And maybe we are close to World War III. I don't know. But I do think there is some of the, let's make this really bad. So then when Trump comes in and saves the day, he looks even better. But I also think, I mean, it is bad. I mean, you're starting to talk about North Korean troops getting involved, troops from France. Thoughts on Rich Rod? Where was, I don't even know where Rich Rod was, honestly. Did he have a good stint the past few years? LeBron new photo kissing a dude. That's got to be AI, man. Come on. Do you think Don Jr. should run for Florida governor in 2026? I no, I don't think he will. Very rare female shooter. Yes, you're right. I'm worried he's going to reverse course on deportations. Well, you want to know what's I think this is what is happening with Trump. Do you see what Homan said? And look, I'm not going to say anything because let's let Trump get in. And people overreact to this stuff, but Homan made a statement where he was like insinuated, don't worry guys, we're only going after the criminals, meaning like the ones that actually, because obviously they're all criminals. They all came here illegally. But you know what they're saying with criminals. They mean you do something more criminal. And he's like, don't worry, we're only going after them. And I think a lot of this for Trump is, you know, a political thing where he's like, he knows, although I don't know, maybe people will be really pissed, but it's like, he knows if he starts deporting people that technically didn't do anything, maybe his approval rating will down. I mean, Trump cares about that stuff. He does. So it's like, well, it's like, what's the happy medium on deportations where you deport all the criminals? And again, they're all criminals, but like criminal in the sense where they did something on top of illegal immigrating here. Trump will always wield power over the GOP until he dies. He'll be on the campaign trail for his candidates. But if Laura succeeds him, she couldn't fill his shoes. I mean, I just don't know how much Trump will have left in the tank after 2028. I mean, he'll campaign for Vance. I'd agree with you there if that's what ends up happening. But I don't know how much he would have left. I mean, Trump winning this election the way he did, it puts himself in an extremely powerful position within the Republican Party. It's kind of interesting because you go back to like 2021. I mean, he was kind of unpopular within the Republican Party. Now, you guys might not remember it, but he was. Remember the warp speed and everything like that? Canadian political news. Did I see it? Yeah, with Trudeau. Trudeau possibly done. I don't know if there are any Canadians. Federal election in 24. That's not going to happen. Cold before April. I thought the election. What is this for? Hmm. They must do elections a little bit differently there. Bernie Sanders votes to confirm Tulsi. It's kind of a funny prop. Imagine I'm like, Bernie, let's do some insider trading here. Why don't you confirm her? I'll put $5,000 down on it. We can make some money. But the problem is with this, on how this market works, it sucks. You wonder if Trump will run as a VP candidate in 28. Yeah, and that's something that could happen. I mean, I'm not sure. They're going to try and make a clause to where that can't happen, though, I think. Trump was very unpopular in 22. Almost every single candidate he endorsed lost. Yeah, well, that was also the Roe v. Wade timing as well. But no, I mean, it was some serious criticism. Pence was supposed to be the G. I never heard Pence was gonna. I never said. I never thought Pence ever had a chance. Honestly, I thought it was gonna be DeSantis though. Can I get you on my channel? I'm doing a series. What are you doing a series for exactly though? You're interviewing people? Do you think Joe Buck is a good announcer? I am a Joe Buck stan. I mean, I think Joe Buck is a really good announcer. I'm kind of sad that Joe Buck doesn't call Sunday games because he's got the Monday night gig now. But Joe Buck, he's a good announcer, man. He's definitely a good announcer. Thoughts on Diddy Grinch meme coin? I'm sick of these Solana meme coins, man. I'm really getting to. I don't know if it's probably Solana. You can just smell the Solana meme coin with a name like that. Do you think DeSantis is a tamer Trump? I mean, DeSantis has more of an insider tie to him. I mean, he's the career politician, so he's gonna have more of a stench than Trump is. And with DeSantis, it was always gonna be hard when you've got someone as big as Trump in the party. It's very hard to separate yourself and also attract those people while not alienating them. And then he alienated them, but I don't think he ever had a chance anyways. What do you think about the drones? I think it came out they are testing. They're trying to find some displaced nuclear matter. What do you think about Tom Brady's broadcasting career so far? I think he's just kind of walking on eggshells. I mean, I haven't watched a ton of NFL, but I have seen. I mean, his game's always at 425. It seems like he's walking on eggshells. Can we get another Discord link? The other one is broken. Yeah, I mean, they always break after 7 days. Which honestly, I don't even know why I have that anymore. It's like for crowd control or some shit, so people don't spam like join or whatever. But yeah, I'll have to get another one or something. I don't know what I would do because I don't want to keep spamming people with Discord links on the community page. Do you prefer Gus Johnson and Joel Klatt? I'd rather not. I really don't like Gus, mainly because they take the Ohio State games and then Ohio State only plays at noon. It's annoying. Have you been keeping up with the Pat McAfee West Virginia stuff? You're a West Virginia fan coping with their relevance. Well, is Pat McAfee trying to like offer some NIL or something? I haven't seen that. But West Virginia, I mean, dude, the thing with West Virginia is, and really any team in the Big 12, you've got a chance. If you can get some players, like the conference, there's no superpower in the conference. You're not, if you get a few players, you get a good quarterback, a really good receiver. I mean, you could do something in that conference. Sean, what's up, Sean? What's up, bro? Kevin Harlan, yeah, he's got a really good voice for it. This just in, Dems are looking to abolish the Electoral College. Yeah, well, what is that called? The Commerce Act or some bullshit where they're trying to do that. That's not going to work. You need an amendment for it. It'll never pass. Well, no, they need like three-fourths or something, and it's not going to happen because the Republican states are not going to agree to abolish the Electoral College. But like even on a and look, I don't want to make fun of these cities, but like when you look at the New York City, Chicago, and then like the two or three biggest populated city, LA, San Francisco, do we really want those cities with how terrible they're run and how horrible their politics are and how dumb the people? And I'm not trying to bash these people, but they continue to elect the same stuff and they get the horrible crime and they don't stop. Would we really allow that contingent of people to have such a massive say over our election? Because that's really what the Electoral College, at least to a small degree, not to even a big degree, because they still get tons of electoral votes for their population, but it does redistribute the electoral votes a little bit more neatly in terms of giving people more representation that are in states that don't have a big population. Like, these people are just dumbasses. I'm sorry. You have horrible crime and you're electing this, like Brandon Johnson, the dude's like as soft as can be on crime. Your city is being destroyed by crime. Why would you elect? It's the Lori Lightfoot to I think Brandon Johnson. It's like, oh my god, you don't want to really, but they just will not vote for a Republican. They can't do it. Eric Adams was like the closest they'll get because they just think he's a badass on crime, and now he's trying to like save his legal situation by like kissing up to Trump, and he's saying he'll work with Trump. He's got like legal problems. He's trying to get a pardon or something. Have you been following any of the fallout at TYT? I did see some black dude who was really angry about, he was angry like because Jank is not, so here's the thing. Anna Kasparian was already starting to become like more, at least more independent before the election. Jank was still like, I hate Trump, he's horrible, whatever. And now after the election, Jenks had like this culture shock where he's like, oh, now I want to work with Republicans. And so I think some of the really, because they hire a bunch of like these lunatic liberal people, and then they're like, wait, what's going on? Why is Jank, I mean, Anna, that's one thing, that's the co-host. Why is Jank turning to like not be a Trump supporter, but to work with Trump? And then they think it's a grift, and then so a lot of the really ravenous libs underneath are like, what's going on? I think that's what you're talking about. Thoughts on the Jones Act? Hold on. Man, is it raining. Regulates the transportation of goods between U.S. ports. I don't know. Has it been in the news recently? Federal law requiring that goods shipped between U.S. ports are transported on ships built, owned, and operated by U.S. citizens. I don't know, man. A lot of this stuff you need context for me to give an adequate answer. Like I would have to look into the act, and maybe that might be my homework for tonight. Any sleeper college basketball teams? Um, I think Utah State is like 11-0 right now. I saw. It's good when like a team at a. Although I don't know, the Mountain West college basketball is good. Utah State is really good. I think Memphis is kind of they're pretty good, but they're not really a sleeper team. There's a few other ones I forget, but like I'll see tweets about like teams like that, lower teams. Anna Kasparian is bad AF. Yeah, she is. She should definitely be on the Republican side. Also, Jank back in college was conservative. You search that up, it'll show. Yeah, I know, but I mean, the thing with Jank, that's the problem, is he waited until Trump won, and now he's trying to do the turnaround. You know. So it's like it's a little bit disingenuous after. I mean, imagine if Trump lost, he'd say, "Oh, he's a loser." So it's like, I mean, at least with Anna, she did it before the election. What changed with Jank is that MAGA Elon Musk sent an olive branch over the Pentagon spending that broke. I mean, I saw that tweet. I remember that, but I don't know if that was it necessarily. I think he just realized that like, I mean, he is against like the far left socialist. I mean, because his nephew is Hassan, and the kid's like a cosplaying communist, and he's like, this is a joke. I mean, do you think Trump can save Canada? Um, I mean, it's people are saying he got Trudeau to step down, but I definitely think like there's Republican momentum that might transfer because it's the same continent to Canada. And I mean, I think no matter what happened in 2024 with the U.S. elections, the Canadian election is going to be very conservative in 2025. SMU getting over Bama is a joke. I mean, it just depends. They didn't want to punish SMU for playing in a conference championship game. That's what it came down to. Modesto nuts are moving to San Bernardino. Bro, what I mean, see but why are you using my name in my profile? I mean, come on. You're using my name in my profile picture. People are going to think it's me. That's the problem with that. What do you think of what's unfolding in Canada? I think it's very positive for the Republican or for the conservative movement in Canada. And I've been looking at the polls in Canadian politics. They have two left-wing parties, so it's not necessarily like the Republicans are up by 20 points, but I keep saying that the conservatives are probably going to get like 48%, and then the two little liberal parties, the socialist and then the just Democrat, they're going to split about probably 40% of the vote, and then there's like other parties that'll get like 10%, but it's going to be majority. It's going to be listen, it's because Canada is getting more conservative. It is undoubtedly. And even Trudeau said like 2 months ago, I don't know if you guys saw this, he said, and he was trying to like compromise to liberals and be like, don't worry, we're going to let them back in. But he's like, we have to stop all immigration. These people are dirty. We're stopping it, but we're going to start it again in a month. We're just overloaded. We're going to start it again. Don't worry. He said, we're going to start it again, but we got to stop it right now. Immigration. You're seeing they were sold and they're moving to San Bernardino and being renamed to the Inland Empire 66ers. Interesting. LGBT shooter. Um, it's hard to say. It looks like just like a wacko girl, honestly, man. Was I expecting Maine to be a bit closer? Not really. I don't even know what Maine ended up because Maine does the districts and stuff, so it's annoying. But the Maine at large, what was it like 9 points? Maybe a little bit closer. But it is. I mean, Maine was like similar to Minnesota, where it's just hard. Although I don't know. I think Trump did win Maine at large in 2016. I remember seeing that somewhere. Thoughts on the Hawk Tua coin? I wonder what it's at right now. It's probably at like 5 million market cap. because it just keeps getting drained lower and lower, and then someone's going to try and revive it. But I don't even know if you can revive it because I don't know how much they have locked in supply. Because it's like, how do you make a meme coin and then some of it's locked and stuff? It's just a mess. Any meme coin with a pre-sale is not worth anything. You shouldn't buy it. In general, any new meme coin you should stay away from. Let's get Greenland deal done so we can get them rare earths ASAP. The Greenland, and I think I'm going to do 10 things that Trump needs to do immediately, or like a video titled with a script, like 10 things that Trump must do immediately or something like that. And listen, this is if Denmark wants to play ball. I mean, there's nothing we can really do. I mean, we could technically in a perfect world force Denmark to sell it, but then that would violate some things within NATO. Try and acquire Greenland as fast as possible so we can get an infrastructure set up on the country. And number two, the Bitcoin strategical reserve needs to be set up ASAP. And we need to invest a ton into Bitcoin. Although you're trying to buying at the top, but Bitcoin inevitably will keep going up. I don't know. I mean, I disagree with some people in their price predictions, but I do think it'll go up at least inevitably. Obviously, it'll have its dips. That's just what crypto does. Do you think Trudeau will resign? I don't know. Probably not. I mean, this close to the election. Take the loss and move on. It's you know, maybe he doesn't want to lose. I don't know. Conservatives lost the last 3 out of the last 4 elections. The one in BC was rigged. There's a lot of Chinese in BC that sympathize. But I thought BC was already liberal. British Columbia. No matter how good Trump's economy gets, liberals will still say it's terrible. Well, I mean, that's their hate to Trump is just so outrageous. It's absolutely that's true. I mean, you know, that's how Republicans and Democrats are nowadays. But I think with the liberal hate of Trump, it's even ramped up even more. I mean, with Biden, it was just he was never capable of doing anything, and they kept trying to force him as like this leader, and he got stuff done and everything. And by the way, that's another thing that you know people have been saying about the CHIPS Act because that was the one thing they kept bragging about, and it is a good idea getting that done, but I'm not even sure like that's something you really brag about. That was a bipartisan thing. Both parties wanted it. It wasn't like Biden forced it over. And they haven't even started on actually being able to manufacture the chips. It's just they're just very incompetent. This administration is extremely incompetent, and they give the public zero transparency on any of these issues, like the spy balloon, like the drones. I mean, and then you know you can understand a lot of it's probably control. Like we don't want to tell people and they freak out, but Trump lost Maine by 7.3. Yeah, I would say that's a little bit much, honestly, for some of the other states in the margins. I'd say it would be about 4 or 5, but I mean, it's not anything crazy different. Spent 2 weeks Maine this summer. Crazy how much more conservative the northern part of Maine is compared to the south. Well, I would imagine most of Maine is probably conservative. Like just the culture of Maine. Even the liberals in like some of these states, they're like like on an internet level because we're so used to seeing these crazy liberals. They're like conservative. Like the crazy liberals, they're just all in the massive cities and in some of the suburbs. They're starting to infect the suburbs as well, surrounding like Atlanta and everything, and then the suburbs and out in California. But I mean, like Maine, it strikes me, even like the liberal parts of Maine, they're probably a lot more conservative than you would expect, you know, but they just vote liberal. Was the shooter trans or a woman? I think to be it was a woman. It was a female. Ever gonna make a 9/11 Roblox Christmas video? Yeah, you remember that? Maybe I'll do. I don't know. Like whatever I end up making, like it'll get. Maybe I'll just do like a chat on Christmas or something, and just play zombies or something. There's a guy planning an insurrection on TikTok. I think I saw that video. I saw a video of a dude doing it like right after the election. He's like, "We're gonna make our voices heard, and just get me in front of a microphone." That's what he said. On January 20th. But yeah, let them act like jackasses. That'll be good for political leverage. Yeah, go ahead, try and do an insurrection. That'll be great. They won't do it, of course, but it'd be hilarious because they've been doing the whole pearl clutching about Trump's insurrection. They do it. That'd be beautiful. I'd love to see that happen. I encourage that. The IQ 6900 that I mentioned last night did a 10x. You're a lucky man. Yeah, I don't get coins like that, man. I'm not gonna sit here and cope, but yeah, that's good, man. Oh, this thing tanked. Well, let's see. Damn. 240K to 10 million. That's a 40x. It's a 40x right there. You can respect something like that, man. Thing did fall off a table though, but that's pretty typical. Constitutional con. Oh, here it is. Wow, this might happen. Out as leader of liberals before April, 69% chance. Will Trump make January 6th a holiday? It would be amazing. A day of remember. What if he called it Patriot Day? Oh man. Starmer, you're talking. Yeah, he's a mess. His approval rating should be negative though. I mean, with what he did, you know that it's all about the immigration. It's all about him siding with the immigrants. Because remember, there was a killing. Any more of the dating fail stories? Oof. I mean, I got some interesting stories. You can't believe how much the Hogwarts Express train costs. Oh, it's all overpriced. Yeah, it's all terribly overpriced, man. With the Legos now, it's sad. You should play Derace. Derace is it's a solid map. Maybe a slightly overrated Derace. I don't know. I mean, but who's really talking Derace in 2024? Although they did remaster it. Thoughts on Brett Cooper leaving Daily Wire? Seemed like an odd situation. If you watch that video of Brett Cooper, the last one, seemed like she was kind of mad and sad at the same time, is how I would describe it. Seemed like it definitely didn't seem like this. Oh, I mean, they had like 4 million subscribers. You would think if she's leaving, it would be like this. I'm so happy with what we built and everything, and this is like great. But she seems pretty angry. Seemed like a weird situation, and then like her friend just stole her job or whatever, or they replaced her, and then all the rumors fly that she didn't want Candace Owens to be fired, and that's why she got. Who knows, man? But it didn't seem like it was this. Oh, she just wants to do something else. I think they forced her out. I mean, it seems pretty obvious based off of that last episode she did. Do videos on Canadian elections. I would do like a few videos when it happens because it is important that conservatives do well, especially with how. I mean, look at the Liberal Party right now with Trudeau. I mean, he's being forced out, or he's stepping down. Starmer is on his way out the door. He's got to be gone. They should have just forced him out during that whole debacle on how he handled that immigration thing with the uprisings. You streaming Congress counting the votes. I mean, I guess I don't. What's is anything gonna happen though? That's Ben's daughter. I mean, it is pretty scary. You can definitely see it, but that's everyone says that. Trudeau will get annihilated. Maybe he sees the writing on the wall. He's trying to get out before he gets crushed. Heard she was pregnant, didn't want to travel to her set. Well, wouldn't they say that though? I mean, now because Daily Wire kind of looks bad. If she was just pregnant, wouldn't they say that to try and avoid negative press? Daily Wire muzzles their commentators. Yeah, they do. For certain topics, that's for sure. Did you see the meme of Chris Christie Trump posted? Yeah, I saw it. That's an unfortunate situation for the big fella to be in. He gets hit with a meme like that, and then he actually did. He had a news hit. He talked about. He's like, yeah, I saw the drones. He's like, I ordered a massive Big Mac. The drone actually crashed. It was trying to bring me a Big Mac, and it was like a quadruple pounder Big Mac. It crashed. But yeah, drones. I mean, we've got drones now deliver to your house and stuff with the Amazon stuff. Thoughts on Florida Gators basketball team? I saw they were like 11-0 or 10-0. I don't think it's gonna last, man. Conservatives will get supermajority in Canada election. I agree. I think they will. What's your favorite sub a million 6900 type coin? I mean, there it's kind of just a wash, honestly. Let me look at this. Sub a million. Probably DJT, I would say, with him coming in. SPX 2 point. I mean, you would think Dow Jones would be. Man, we need Nasdaq to go back up. I'm so sick of this, dude. I just need one time. Just give me one time. The index is decent as well, but it went over. It went over a million. I would say DJT would be under a million. Yeah, because you have to think of the narrative. I mean, Microsoft is at nothing right now, though. You'd think it's probably bottomed out. But ever since the allegations, Michael Jackson. Ever since the allegations, you went broke. You've had to give up your pet chimp. What coins should I invest into? Oh, you invested into that female Trump coin, Nasdaq 420. Yeah, yeah. I would do. I would go with an AI play if I were you, like ENQ or deepfake AI, something like that. Will Trump release new 9/11 info when he takes office? I wouldn't hold your breath. I mean, yeah, it's possible. But I mean, I wouldn't hold your breath on it, honestly, man. You know how this stuff goes. But no, I think he will. He's going to have to be more transparent because, especially with the JFK stuff. So I think it'll also happen with the 9/11 stuff. Plus, you've got Cash Patel, who's already talked about the 9/11 stuff, and he's seen some of the documents, and he's going to be part of the administration. So I think some of it'll come out. Favorite meme coin? Probably all together. It's hard, man. Maybe Nasdaq 420, but it used to be Dark Maga. What do you think of the whole the assisted dying thing? It's been a disaster in Canada. Yeah. Um I mean, I think it's very bad for a society to even consider that to be an. I mean, it says it speaks to an unhealthy society that could be even an industry, and they produce something like that. we're on YouTube right now. I'm coming up on. I mean, I would like to talk. I mean, I don't really want to talk about it. I have some thoughts on how that should be done and everything because there's some stuff that's happened, but I mean, I think that like the assisted, for a young healthy person is just like if you have an industry like that, that speaks more so to your society than anything else. I mean, what do you think the Wisconsin school shooter is a plant to describe? Oh, come on, nah, man. No, I don't. But I mean, what would it even be to distract the CEO? I mean, would you consider a collaboration with Sports Bash podcast? I'm not. I have never heard of them. Are they a big podcast? He did say he's going to release all those, including the Epstein files. Yeah, the Epstein stuff's going to be complicated for Trump. I understand, people like Trump and stuff, but you know, and listen, I'm not saying Trump's involved with the Epstein, but I do think people Trump knows might be involved, and that could complicate things. I'm just warning people that Trump is not. It's not this crazy outsider populist. This was still a multi-billionaire. I mean, we certainly are all happy Trump is in. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying with stuff like that, it's not as cut and dry as like some crazy like outsider entering and being like, just release everything. You know what I'm saying? There's a little bit more relationship build up for Trump with some of the elitists, and so when some of those are implicated, it's. I mean, there's so much stuff with these rich people, like the Diddy stuff. It's do a one-off Rumble stream where you're completely unfiltered and unhinged. Yeah, I mean that way I don't risk anything like getting demonetized. That I mean I've never streamed on Rumble. I wonder, dude. Rumble is just such a. It's just the way the analytics are done. Or like if you were a content creator, you would understand the way the analytics are done are really effed up on Rumble. Your assessment of where to live was spot on. Well, thank you for that. Yeah, I have thought about where to live. Uh, a decent amount on where I would want to live, and I think like the Great Plains is just an interesting area for people to move to. I mean, it is very cold there, but how do you like your steak? Medium rare? Yeah, I feel like that's pretty NPC, but I like my steak well done. Now, you know what? When I order a steak, I should just see how it is. If it's when you order it well done, what does it taste like? Rubber. But I actually did have I made a steak and it was really well done. But I'd say medium rare. Yeah, probably is what I like. No, I like it rare. I like being able to drink the blood, so it's rare. Who do you think is hotter, Tulsi or Ivanka? I'd probably go for someone like Tulsi. Texas is a great place to live. I mean, I need the seasons. That's the problem with Texas. Is too hot. Although Texas is, it depends where you live. You live in like the northern part of Texas, like right next to Oklahoma. It's a little bit colder, but to me, it's too hot in Texas. I can't do it. Trump releasing JFK and 9/11 files, easy way to boost approval rating. People want transparency. Yeah, and I wonder almost if it comes down to, the timing of that type of stuff. I mean, I don't know this to be true. Who knows when you get in there? But do you strategically do that? Like, because it is a very easy win. Maybe something bad comes out and then you do that. I mean, maybe that's how they think. I don't know. Although maybe they just have to release it at a certain time, and you really can't pick and choose when to release them. In case something bad happens, you just release them and just people stop talking about it. Coastal Maine is good all 4 seasons, not that cold. Yeah, the only problem with Maine is just the pretty extreme sunsets and sunrises because it's the most eastern like part of Eastern Standard Time. So that they have some pretty crazy. I think probably you look at Maine right now. Look up like Caribou, Maine or Portland, Maine, and like the sunset it's probably like 4:30 right now. I mean, it's pretty crazy. Even here, dude, we had a cloudy day. I mean, in Ohio it gets really cloudy during the winter, but like it was dark by 4:50 here with the clouds and stuff, and it barely even looks like it's light out during the day. Only hot in the summer. What, Texas? I know, but it's like you depending on where you live. I mean, it's like 100 and some. I've seen Texas heat. You know, I like have a fascination. I'll just look at like different weather, different temperatures and areas and stuff. It's hot in Texas, man. Trudeau approval rating is 18%. What's Biden's? Biden's, believe it or not, is like 40%. So it's still pretty negative, but it's hot. It was like 38 for a while. Last time I saw it was like 40. Trump is going to deport all illegals. He's been saying it the entire campaign. It won't hurt his approval. People voted for it. Yeah, I know, but unfortunately, the media can easily manipulate people. I don't think anyone will have a problem with Trump deporting people that have committed other crimes within the U.S. or in Mexico and deporting them back. But there are going to be a lot of sob stories, and Trump understands that. And so we'll see what happens. But there is a lot of the guilt trip. Look at this mother getting deported. She's worked. She's been here for X amount of years. She has kids, and now you're taking away birthright citizenship. But listen, I'm totally for just doing that and saying it's whatever. But that's going to be something that happens. Why is Florida hot in the winter? Look at how south it is. Texas gets Africa hot. Africa gets crazy. There's a place in Ethiopia where it's like the high is like on average like 100 degrees. The low is like 90 degrees. How is a low temperature 90 degrees? Go look at like the middle of Greenland. The high is like negative 22. Those guys are gonna make their money drilling into that. That's a U.S. machinery drilling into that glacier. That's what we need. Arizona dry heat is easy. Texas gets humid. Yeah, humidity is horrible. Florida gets humid as well. Florida gets some weird weather. When I was younger, we went on vacation to Sarasota, and we actually went to a Rays game in St. Petersburg. But yeah, Florida's pretty crazy. They got like this big bridge you drive over right around that Tampa Bay area, and it was like thunderstorming. But no, this is what it'll be. It'll be just totally like this very humid, like 80 degrees out. Then it'll thunderstorm. But it's weird. The thunderstorms, it's like sunny and thunderstorming. Like it's not total cloud coverage. But then the weirdest part of it is the thunderstorm will stop after like 2 minutes, and then like 5 minutes later, the pavement will be dry. That's kind of how Florida weather is. I mean, I haven't lived in Florida, but from when I was there, it's just because of how humid it is. But I've been to Vegas as well. Vegas is extremely dry heat. Vegas in June is like it was like 115 degrees, but it was really dry, and people were walking. You walk on the strip and whatever, and it's just dry heat there. We had a low of 95. Oh, dude, that's crazy. You had a low of 95. That seems almost impossible. You have a low. What was the high? Like 112? I knew what happened. What shooter? There was a shooting at a elementary school in Wisconsin. It was a girl who did it. I believe there were two people that died and a few critically wounded. And people are, obviously it turns into this political thing, but this girl is just like, this is more so like they always say it's a white male, and this is another one where it's not. So this is a lot in a row, and I'm not trying to make it political, but I'm just saying chances Notre Dame wins the Natty. I mean, they have a chance. I just don't think they can throw, and they don't have elite receivers. It's you need you don't need elite receivers, but I don't know if Notre Dame has the running ability to make up for the lack of passing attack that they have. Hawaii's 85. Yeah, Hawaii is kind of like they get that like vacation-y type weather where it's like 85 and the low is 77. The thunderstorm thing you described happens in Virginia. Well, I'll tell you a little bit about Ohio weather. I mean, people always make a big deal about Ohio weather. It's, the Ohio weather, we do have some, like, I feel like if you look at like what ranges, from what I've seen, the city that ranges the most in terms of the high and the low is Denver. Like you could get a high in Denver of like 60 degrees with a low of like 32. That really doesn't. People always say the weather in Ohio changes like really quickly. I mean, I guess I don't know. I mean, Ohio weather is it's pretty typical. It's like all four seasons. You get all four of them. When I was younger, it was like better. I don't know. You get nostalgia, but I feel like nowadays you do. It is pretty rainy in April. We do get a lot of rain in April. The winter's miserable. It's just always cloudy. It's just always cloudy. And we used to have it a few times where we'd get really cold because the polar vortex would come down and the dip in the jet stream. But we really don't get that anymore. I mean, maybe we'll get it again this year, but we used to rent out a family beach house and it was perfect weather. And then about 45 minutes later, there was a hurricane coming our way and you had to go home. Yeah, that's what happens in Florida if that's what you're referencing. There hasn't been a white male shooter in a hot minute. Well, yeah, well, even if there is, they tend to have like these proms and like a right wing white male shooter. It's been, and look, this is not, but it's just it's a false narrative that gets created because a lot of the big name shooters are white male, and they tend to be more like the masculine, so people assume they're conservative type. Bro, there's some down bad people, man. This is I don't come down from my bedroom until 9 o'clock, so the DSF, if it were permanent, sun would just be rising when I go downstairs. Yeah, I really gotta change my sleep schedule, but no, it really wouldn't affect me in the morning because I've been getting up later and later and later, and it's been a problem. I've been getting up at like 10, 11 o'clock. When you're self-employed, you can do that, guys. No, I used to get up early. I don't know what happened to me, but I just can't fall asleep at night. It rarely gets cloudy in Virginia in the winter. Most of the time, sunny or partly cloudy. Yeah, Virginia is another kind of decent place in terms of weather. You don't really get any crazy extremes in Virginia. Kind of a similar to like a North Carolina. DC is pretty good weather now. DC rarely gets snow, I feel like, anymore. I mean, it'll get snow, but nothing crazy. Michigan weather is good, better than Ohio. It's very similar to Ohio, Michigan's weather. I mean, it depends where you live in Michigan versus Ohio, because if you get leg effect snow, it's you're going to get more snow in either state, depending. I blame Doom, the video game. Is that a Columbine reference? Do I play live action Ratatouille? I don't even know what that is. No, I don't. Do you think McCain influence in Arizona ever going to wear off? Well, I mean, to a degree, it has. Remember, the attack ads against Trump were, smearing McCain. Trump was making fun of McCain, and Trump carried the state by 5.5 points. I mean, Arizona at this point is Republican. Why Carrie Lake lost was because she's just unlikable, and she said some things about the state that were not the best, and also they gave her no money. But Arizona is a Republican state. React to only in Ohio memes. Well, I mean, dude, those memes are just they're like uh, they don't even make sense. I mean, it's I understand the whole idea, the premise of it. I'm surprised there's not an Ohio meme coin. You'd think there would be one. I'm asking if you'd be cast as the redhead from Reddit. No, I don't even. I'm not an actor, brother, and I don't know what that is. The weather in Pyongyang is perfect. Didn't Pyongyang host the Winter Olympics in 2014? Yeah, it had to have been them because the summer is 2012, 2016, 2020, 2024. Wait, the Olympics in 28 is LA, 2032 is Brisbane, I think. What's Ohio's most famous food? Well, I mean, people say Skyline chili, but that's mainly like a Cincinnati thing. I mean, that's I never even had that. Skibbity coin. Yeah, there is a coin like that. Why is Ohio so crazy? It's really not, isn't it? I mean, there's nothing crazy about Ohio. I mean, it's pretty normal in comparison to other states. It really just depends on where you live. I mean, there are some states I wouldn't live, but really every state has you're gonna have your suburbs, you're gonna have your big cities, you're gonna have your rural areas. Sochi 2014. What did North Korea host the Olympics ever? Or was it South? It had to have been North Korea. Maybe it was 18. Let me look this up for you. Hold on. I never seen a Ratatouille, brother. That's a little bit. It's a little bit too. When did this come out? 2007. Yeah, I never seen that. Bo Nix impressed you? I mean, Bo Nix had a really bad game though. To be fair, I mean, he did throw 3 touchdowns, but I saw 3 interceptions, like 120 yards. Is Columbus a shithole? No, I wouldn't say Columbus is a shithole. No. Did a tiger get loose in Ohio one time? Maybe a lion. I think a whole zoo got loose. That might have been the story. Would great to see me on a world tour. I mean, I mean, I'm not a musician. What am I going to go on a world tour for? Thoughts on the Murad meme? Yeah, that. I mean, that's just those are all coins that are really high in market cap. I mean, the dude obviously is like a meme coin influencer, Mike, but it's like we're just pumping his bags if we buy that. I mean, he's already bought 1% of the supply of all those coins. You should know that. So it's like, I mean, the coins are probably. I'm sure they'll do very well. They will. It wouldn't be bad investments, but Pyeongchang. Hold on, hold on. Yeah, no, you are. I don't know why I thought that because I remember looking it up one time. I thought it was. When will we get the Olympics in Ohio? I mean, you could do them in Cleveland, Cincinnati, and Columbus. Basically, that's where they would be. The opening ceremony stadium would be the new Brown Stadium, and the closing stadium would be the new Brown Stadium. That's really all that we would have. But no, I mean the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse is a good arena. Cincinnati's NFL arena kind of sucks, or NFL Stadium kind of sucks. Can't have shit in Detroit. Fake news. Can't have shit in Ohio. Ohio is the original Florida man. Yeah, well, Florida man. There's another nice meme. Do you collect Lord of the Rings Lego sets? No, I don't. But there is a crazy, crazy group of Lord of the Rings Lego sets that are coming out, but they're not Lego brand, so I don't know if any meme coins to look out for heading into 2025. Yeah, I mean I've had videos. You can look at the videos I have on them. Do you think Republicans will retain Virginia governorship next year? I think it's going to be tough. I would say it's around 50-50 right now. How's your frozen salamander Lego set doing? Yeah, it's a funny it's another cringe video. I think it might be in the closet, maybe my closet. Slow mode is diabolical with 380 people. That is pretty funny. Well, I'm laughing at myself, but I had to enable that. I honestly did have to enable that, but it kind of is still good anyways. Like the idea is if somebody comes in, they just spam a bunch of shit. But to be fair, I did need slow mo. I just never took it off. But dude, when I had like You're not gonna remember. I had like 2,000 people a day. I mean, at one point. So you need it. I mean, you get 2,000 people like that. You're gonna need it. I had like 10,000 people one time. So you need the slow mode, and then it just gets unmanageable at a certain point. Neil Armstrong. Yeah, we were taught about Neil Armstrong. If you live in Ohio, you'll be taught about him. Please keep it on. Well, yeah, it's just to stop people spamming. I mean, people spam shit. They just keep commenting. And then what happened is I used to have my chat on the screen, and people started like spamming the N word and stuff. So and it's like, well, it's gonna get me taken down if it, because so I just got rid of it. Pre-election run-up vids. Yeah, that those vids. Dude, James, you want to know something? I definitely should have just because the thing is, this is what happened. So I did the election live stream, and I was beat. I probably stopped streaming at like two even before Trump spoke. I stopped streaming. I was just like, I gotta stop doing this. Is just because I was just like, get this over with. Um, and then the next day I did another stream. It was like the victory stream, but then I stopped doing streams for like a week. But I should have just kept doing them, like, and just reacted to, because I would have had, because I still had the audience at that point. When you still have the audience, you have to just do as much as possible. But I stopped doing them because I was just beat. Um, but I mean, you could still do them. It's not like this is not like a war situation. I mean, it's just talking, but it is annoying when you talk for like 9 hours straight and you have to like recover. Scott Jennings is the only reason CNN gets views. Yeah, but I don't even think Scott Jennings can keep CNN afloat. CNN, I think, will have more staying power. They'll have more staying power than MSNBC, but I mean, MSNBC is getting like split apart. They just can't fund it. There's just no money. There's just nobody. They don't draw enough viewers. It's not a good investment for anyone to fund those shows anymore. With CNN, it can still kind of, they try and do the whole global thing. MSNBC is just like this Trump hate network now. That's what their kind of brand is. Did you see Mary Trump meltdown? Yeah. Hey, Mad Frog, did you see that same video that I saw where it was like the full? It was like some dude reacting to the full video of Mary Trump in the panel. Dude, that one dude, the amount of word diarrhea. There was this one dude that just kept saying, "Oh my god, it's so racist and transphobic." And this is the exact same type of dude who will see like a Muslim burn a Christmas tree and he'll be like, "That's fine," but then when we say something, "Oh, you hate Muslims. You're so bigoted." Yeah, that Mary Trump clip, I saw that their entire panel. I think you have to wait 30 seconds, no reply. Have you traveled to another country? Yeah, nowhere in Europe, mainly like places for vacation like Sri Lanka, Jamaica, Mexico, Bahamas, I think. Yeah, Bahamas. Spamming the chat is the of a live is the lifeblood blood of a live stream. Not when I'm trying to react to it though. I mean, yeah, it's fine if you're like you have so many people and you can't react to it. What's going on with LeBron? Didn't LeBron just come back yesterday randomly? He said he was taking a leave of absence and then he came back. And they're being really ominous about it. They're like, he it's a personal problem. Well, what does that mean? Yeah, no reply. I agree with you. And also, there's just no peace in the Middle East at all with any of those countries, and it's just it's such a lose lose proposition for the United States. But then imagine you become president. I mean, what are you really? I think if you became if anyone became president, they would immediately feel like you think you have all this power, but then you get in and you realize, oh wait, there's all these other fucking people that need to okay whatever I want to do for me to even be able to enact this, and it's like, oh shit. Pull up the video of crying lib on election day who started screaming it's Russia's fault. I should I do a live stream and title it reacting to and just like because I could make these streams longer, reacting to liberals election. I feel like that'd be a good stream if I did that. He took a leave to do a cycle. I know that's also a conspiracy theory that he had to. I mean, he is old. Thoughts on Libs coping saying Arizona trended left because it shifted 5.8 points to the right, while the nation shifted 6 points to the right. Yeah, I've not seen that cope. So what are they saying? Well, it's still a swing state because it's such an aberration with. Yeah, that's total crap. Opinion on the New Jersey drones and the missing nuclear material. I mean, it's scary, and the lack of transparency might even be more scary. Like to be honest, if there is, and I can understand, there's a lot that goes into these decisions. They're probably like, well, maybe it's a few different things. Maybe they're like, let's just test flying a bunch. We have to find this matter. It's they're not evacuating anyone, so I don't think it's that that crazy of a pressing deal. And maybe they're also like, let's just not tell anyone and see how the public reacts to us flying a bunch of drones around. You know, so maybe it's like a combination of it. But I don't think they'd be if it was serious. I'm hoping they would be more transparent. But like you would think, if they're not transparent, it's probably not that serious, and they probably want to see how the public would react to like a bunch of drones being because they're probably trying to normalize that because they're going to be using drones to do a lot of shit, whether it's in the United States or outside. Lickman's reaction is top notch. Yeah, with his son. Oh my yeah, it's classic. Xbox or Gay Station. I had an Xbox, a 360, an Xbox One, and an Xbox One Series X or S. 13 keys will return. The grift must continue. And let me tell you something. You know who's not getting enough keys to win? JD Vance. There's a shocker. Jank busting Lickman on Piers Morgan will always be funny. Yeah, because he was just like, you don't know anything. Like just saying you don't know anything is just hilarious. You heard Trump planned on saying Mog tomorrow. Dude, I gotta go make that. That's gotta be like a 1% chance right now. You're the only person that keeps bringing this up. I mean, you've got a lot of money bet on this, don't you? This is way up. No, it's still at 3%. Dude, if he actually did say it, I would salute people who won this. Oh, it's disputed? Wait, why is it disputed? Thoughts about Pepe? I mean, it's really high in market cap, man. It might do like a 10x. You have 1K on it. You bet $1 to win $32, $100 to win 3K. Imagine I was like, Trump, please just say this word. I need to get a quick 3K. Then they'll be like, that's insider trading. Bigger L, Lickman, or Selzer. I mean, Selzer kind of just disappeared, you know? She just retired. Have you seen how cheap XRP memes are right now? What do you mean, like memes related to XRP? Or I haven't seen, man. Imagine if Trump invites Putin and Zelensky to his inauguration. Well, it did come out that he's not inviting Zelensky. So I don't think he would invite Putin either. Why do you like Tectum? I hold a nice bag of it. It's its first cycle. It's a solid layer one, decent partnerships, good early price action. I mean, you're hoping for multiple billions from a coin like that being a layer one. Those coins tend to do a lot more. It would be funny if Trump said, "Yeah, imagine if he said it on on like the 30th. He's like, I'm gonna mug all you guys. I just put $1 million in." But the problem with this thing is, there's not a lot. There's not a ton in terms of the market creators who will Biden pardon Donald Trump, Jim Biden, his brother, his cousin, Fauci, 20 down to a 24% chance. There's no way Bankman Fried, even with the donations, there's no way. Snowden, I think Trump will end up pardoning Snowden and it'll be a big thing. It'll be an easy win. Memes on XRPL, all of them have less than a billion market cap individually. I'll have to take a look. You still have Dark Maga? Yeah, I do. You got Pepe in the beginning. What market cap was your entry? Diddy. Yeah, I mean, come on. This is just you're just stealing money from people. Who was betting yes on Diddy? There were some people betting on it, it looks like. I mean, come on. You're crazy that Hillary is on there? No, no, dude. Okay, this is the liberal cope. The liberal cope now is well, he has to pardon these people because Trump will illegally go after them with lawfare, and it's disgusting. So they have to be pardoned. So basically, what they're saying is like if they haven't committed a crime, they've gotten. And this is the whole thing with on Piers Morgan, what they were arguing about. It's like if they haven't committed a crime, why would you pardon them? And then the liberal argument is, well, Trump might still go after them anyways. But then it's like, you know, how what's the actual argument if they committed a crime and they're guilty? I mean, there's no reason to pardon them outside of them committing a crime. Imagine if Trump says mogging is banned in 25 and anyone who's caught mogging will be put in prison. Well, mogging is very subjective. Let's be honest. Hey, I made it to a live stream. Congratulations are in order to you, sir, on this historic time. This is a historic address to my viewers. Trump didn't pardon himself in 2020 because it would have been an admission, right? We'll understand their argument. It's like, how do I even argue against it? You're basically saying that anyone, no matter what, no matter how guilty they are, the only reason Biden would be pardoning them is because the big bad Trump's administration is going to go after them. And the funniest thing about that is Trump didn't go after Hillary in 2016 when he said he was going to, and he said, no, I'm not going to do it because he wanted to move the country forward. I mean, you could find something on anyone if you tried hard enough. Or they certainly did it with Trump. DEI? No, there's a DEI coin. Oh my goodness. Oh, come on. DEI is going away, man. This coin's not even this is this the right coin? This cannot this there's no way this is the right coin. This thing's at nothing. Now this is not the right coin. I don't know what coin you're talking about, man. That coin was a rug. Hmm. The weird thing with this is they don't even have like the. Oh, they do have it. Ohio State 70%. Yeah, DEI is dead. The coin and I guess it's a good representation of where DEI is right now. Do you think Quinn Ewers would be a good fit for the Browns? I mean, I kind of like Ewers as like a second round pick, honestly. Yeah, Ewers could be a good second round pick for the Browns. But Ewers has not been great this year. He's been injured a lot. XAAC. Dude, what even is that? XACC. Somebody from your team, I think, emailed me. And the coin, I checked the coin, it was at like 70K market cap from what I saw. GTA 6 coin. Yeah, dude, think about this. Let me just tell you guys, let me let you in on a little secret. This is a coin I'm actually in. Wait, let me go to my watch list. I think it's in here. Yeah, I'm in this coin. This is the main GTA coin. But think about it. When this thing when the second GTA trailer gets released, this thing's gonna have to go up. And I think the second GTA trailer hopefully is coming out soon. Because the first one, like you look at that when the first one came out, it went to like 10 million. And you can start seeing it's rebirthing. But I wonder what Squid Game is doing, because Squid Game is also coming out, but it's rebirthing. And imagine when GTA comes out during the bull run. Oh yeah. It's gonna be it's gonna be a massive run. Just wait for the second trailer to come out. Get the second trailer out. If I meet you in person, can I get an autograph? Yeah, I do have a pretty good signature. Why do libs hate Polymarket so much? It was mainly because it had, libs don't understand about betting at all. They don't realize there's multiple different markets. Because it was like, this is what was happening, I'll be honest. Polymarket was paying influencers, both Republican and Democrat, but a lot of them were Republican, to promote, poly market. And obviously the Republican influencers were going to promote it when Trump was winning. So it's like, look at this. Trump is at 70% on poly market. So all these Republican influencers start tweeting it out. And then the liberals think, oh, it's because poly market is, it's all these right wing people and they're the only ones betting. Well, that's not what it is. That was a sponsorship deal they had with individuals. But they thought it was like they were the only ones manipulating the market when all the other markets said Trump was going to win as well. Even liberal predicted had Trump winning at like a 60% chance. How did Jack Sawyer not win the Heisman? He is the hero. I don't know. I mean, when you're a hero like that, you should win. I agree. What if they invited him to the ceremony at least? Give him like a fourth place finish? People would lose their minds. Is GTA coin on Coinbase? You're gonna have a tough time buying GTA coin on Coinbase. Let's just say that. No, it might be on the Coinbase wallet. Yeah, it might be on Coinbase wallet. It's not on Coinbase like listed. Absolutely not. Dude, you know how much it costs to get a coin listed? Like if you're part of a meme coin and you're like a dev or you're part of the team and you say we got to go list this on Coinbase. I think it costs like maybe 100K. It might be even like 300K or something. It costs a fuck ton of money to have it listed. And also you have to have a certain amount of volume that's just like in the multiple millions. And then like a very high market cap. That's why whenever normies get into crypto, it's so hard for them because they're buying MOG and it's already done a 300x. Sure, it might still do a 10 or a 20x, but you're buying the coin at its all-time high because that's how it gets listed because it has to have volume and market cap. You're currently on day 84 of NoFap. That's good. That's nice. Yeah, it's good to resist that, man. GTA coin on Pancake. Yeah, I don't have that one. I saw that one on BNB. I just never like use. Listen, Pancake Swap. I don't know what it is about Pancake Swap. I just don't like using it. It's just like it's an interface thing. The interface is. I mean, the fees are fine and stuff, but it's like an interface thing that I can't get past. Josh Allen is still the MVP. Yeah, I think Josh Allen will win the. Let's just take a look at this actually, because I don't know, but Josh Allen should win the MVP. It's needed for the sport for Josh Allen to win it. They've got Allen at 86% chance. Yeah, Saquon is there as well. Another cross-dressing shooter. Um, I didn't see if they were if I know it's I think it's a biological female. It is a female, but I don't know where they cross-dressing. Did you see the Diddy coin? You wasted 4K. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure there's been multiple Diddy coins. You got to be really careful with coins that are brand new. Did anyone from the south? Did anyone jump from the South Tower? Significantly less, if significantly less than the North, for obvious reasons. But yeah, so sick of QB's winning MVP. I mean, I thought McCaffrey should have won it last year, but it was what Lamar won it. I thought there. Also, I thought Dak might have had a chance last year, but he didn't win it. Skibbity toilet. What is Skibbity at? Like a 50 million market cap, right? I think Skibbity will do well. Love you, bro, but we are gonna kick your guys' ass Saturday. Go Big Orange. I don't know, man. Listen, Ohio State. There's not a lot of hope within the Ohio State program. I think they need to win badly, but it's you guys. If you come in and win, it's Ryan Day's gonna have to get fired. It's time. He's gonna have to go. I mean, and he's trying to like cope, and he's just saying random things. And they bring Chip Kelly out and do. Chip Kelly did a press conference today, and he's just sulking and stuff. Yeah, Josh Allen's gonna win it. There's no doubt. It looks like Saquon's way down. Saquon's done. Debo or Cup. Cup had a crazy year when he had the triple. What was it like? I think the triple crown, most catches, yards, touchdowns. Thoughts on Giga Chad Coin? It's a very high market cap. Is it? I don't know if it's into the billions yet. Oh, it's 600. Yeah, I mean this. I would say 20 billion is what would be a target. Coinye, yeah, I like Coinye. Coinye is like that low. I mean, dude, but the thing is, like, we need Coinye to be recommended by someone big in the space. But Coinye, it's just such a great like history of it. 5 million, 4 point, and it's kind of shown signs of waking up a bit, which is what you like to see because we've had a more bullish time. If you were at the World Trade Center on 9/11, which tower would you rather be in? South, you would want to be in, even though it's not a high probability, but you would want to be in the south. You could at least get down one of the stairs. One of the stairways was open because of the way the plane hit the building in the south. The north, it severed all three because it crashed right directly into the center. But even that, the south, the problem is there's just such a little reaction time because it fell so quickly after it got hit. Are you a truther? What are you talking about? The way the buildings came down? It's hard to say explosives caught. I mean, I've read a lot on it, both sides. You know, I don't know. It's hard to really know what to believe. Honestly, originally I was like, there's no way. But it's just the government's been so bad with what they say, man. It's so. It, have you seen what happened to World Trade Center Building 6? I'm not talking about 7. You should look up Building 6. Yeah, I mean that entire Building 6. Well, 3 was the hotel. 4, 5, and 6 were those small, like 10-floor buildings. Those 3 buildings, they just had a debris fall onto them, and that's how they got destroyed. But I don't know if it was Building 6, but one of the buildings, half of it did kind of survive. You see the underground shopping mall, what happened to it? All the fucking debris that rained down on it when the tower collapsed. I mean, those towers falling had to have just been. I can't believe there were people out filming after the South Tower fell there's news people filming the North Tower standing by itself. Probably, I mean, it's just imagine you went inside the North Tower. There was one photo inside the North Tower that somebody got because there were the South falls and then there's like a 30-minute window and then the North falls. I want to start investing into crypto, but I don't know what tips can you give me. Some well, listen, it's hard to say where to start. I mean, I started it in 2017. I mean, just because the thing is, you go on YouTube, you get a bunch of normie advice, but I mean, just for simplistic advice, go on YouTube and talk about like how do I invest in what. But if you're asking like, I would go through Coinbase and use. I mean, if you're asking about where to invest on either Kraken or Coinbase, I would say Kraken honestly, but newer people like Coinbase more. What is one coin you recommend to someone new in crypto? Well, the problem is I don't really know your financial situation. I don't know if you're looking for a 500x or a 10x or a 20x. Are you looking for coins with utility? Are you looking for just meme coins? A lot of it depends on that. Some say the planes were CGI. Well, they weren't CGI, man. Come on. I know. I've heard that. I've heard that too. Do you remember 9/11? No, I was too young. No one was worried about the towers falling. Yeah, but I'm talking about after the South Tower fell, there were still people in front of the North Tower filming it. Have you seen that footage? It's pretty crazy footage after the South fell. And like you start and like all the smoke because it kicks up just a fuck ton of smoke and just the clouds of smoke that it kicked up when just a building and that much material just pancakes on top of each other is just it's just extraordinary. I remember 9/11. You saw the second plane hit the TV, got to skip school. Yeah, well, everyone went home from school that day. I mean, that's definitely crazier than anything I've experienced. The only thing I experienced that was anywhere like kind of, I mean, it's really been nothing in terms of attacks. Knock on wood. It was more like that COVID thing and like when they sent everyone home in March. This is the top. It ain't the top, bro. The top's in 2025. Come on. I mean, if you're talking about Bitcoin, but still, I think Bitcoin could go to 150 at least. Trump said he wants Bitcoin to go to at least 150. The planes were real, remote controlled. Not that doesn't make any sense. You understand the plane that hit the South Tower almost missed. If they were actually remote controlled, why would they almost miss a tower? Any realistic chance the next a Republican could be the next North New York City mayor? I mean, I think it's there's an outside shot of it. I mean, Eric Adams is more, I mean, at this point, he's basically a conservative because he's kind of forced to be, but he wasn't elected as a conservative, so I think it'd be hard. But people asking about Building Seven. I mean, Building Seven, it's a very strange. With Building Seven, it is. Building Seven's collapse was very random, and it was something. And look, people can believe whatever they want, but even the people that say Building Seven's collapse was legit in how it happened, and it just happened because of the fire and the debris that fell down and rained down onto it from the towers collapsing. We haven't really seen another building collapse like that. So it's like, what? So it's just very random. 20th birthday was a few days before COVID. Officially, your 20th birthday was. Oh, you're around the same age as me then. Yeah. I remember when they stopped all the sporting events and stuff. What about the passports? Yeah, that's impossible. I can't understand that. How they could think that would be. That doesn't make any sense. Do they have bets on the zombie apocalypse happening? Yeah, on Polymarket they've got it. I think we'd all be losers if that bet ended up cashing. You weren't even alive during 9/11. Yeah, I've got a decent amount of young people. Shanksville, 6 miles of debris. Yeah, well, did you see the debris field on Shanksville? They said a lot of it went into like a pond near it. But I mean, honestly, the Shanksville stuff, I could understand that. When you've got a plane like that hitting the ground as fast as it did, it does kind of just go everywhere. Do you think George W. Bush was a terrible president? Well, I mean, the it's kind of a no-win situation. You back to 2001. You say don't do it, don't go back, don't go into the Middle East. But it's like everyone wanted it. I mean, everyone's at that point. When you're emotional, you make bad decisions. That the country was emotional in 2001, understandably so. But and then however much blame you want to assume, put on him for the crash in '08. Those were two not good things. But I mean, people do give him credit for his leadership during 9/11, and you look at his. I mean, he was liked by everyone for a period. The country was galvanized together. You're following me now on X. Oh my goodness, that's a huge honor. No, I appreciate it, man. No pilot could execute the flight trajectory. The flight trajectory on the Pentagon is pretty ridiculous. I still can't. And listen, like there are a few things that people have to understand when it comes to stuff like that. And like I think it was a plane because it's just you can actually see a plane in the security footage. You can see the tip of a plane. It's not a missile, guys. I'm being honest, but the way it was executed was it's like a miracle. But they always say, well, listen, if really anyone could fly a plane, planes are not they're not designed to be crashed, right? I know we get into planes and there's all these buttons and stuff, but any normal human, they're meant to be, it's like a car. It's meant to be easy. They make it to where it's easy. Now, obviously, it's a lot harder than a car, but it's not like when you with a plane, it's like impossible. But I mean, the way that they the trajectory of that is just, I mean, they basically it's a one in a like I don't know how you're able to get a plane just off the ground enough to crash directly into a building, but it's like feet off the ground and you're not like a trained pilot. Are conservatives winning the culture war right now? Well, I mean, I would say so with Trump and everything and the woke stuff. And liberals get triggered anytime anyone brings up the word woke, so I would say yes. I mean, go look at every time someone brings it up, they get so angry. They're just like, you don't even know what it means. You don't know how to use it. They get so mad. It would have been hard to pull off. Well, the visual of like, but what the target of the Pentagon was such a weird target. It's a horizontal building. You're basically crashing it at ground level. I feel like I could land a plane if I had a tower to talk me through it. Yeah, it's just getting over like the fear of it. A lot of it is probably that. Sky King did a pretty good job of flat. Yeah, I remember that dude. R.I.P. to him. Yeah, you could fly. I mean, planes are meant. I know people get inside a cockpit and they see a bunch of buttons and stuff, but just actually flying it and maneuvering it, they don't make it hard to do it. It's not like they're trying. It's daunting to look at everything, but I mean, it would take a while to get used to that though, bro. Like, because it's just so different. Because you're so detached from like the actually feeling like you have control of it, unlike a car. Someone in the YouTube comments got mad at me for using the word woke. It was probably like, you don't know what it means. You don't know. Thoughts on Gen Alpha? Yeah, I'm definitely not Gen Alpha. 2010. So I mean, those kids can't even vote, bro. I don't know. I mean, those kids are definitely gonna have some problems because they grew up. I think we're gonna end up realizing with this Gen Alpha that these kids being on phones, it's gonna be mocked. Like parents should not do that to kids. You can't be giving kids phones when they're 7 or 8 years old. It's a big problem. It's gonna stunt their development. It's gonna stunt their social skills. And I think it's gonna be something like we can phase things out of society. You phase, you know, certain behaviors out, and people just get. It's just like you look at smoking. People don't smoke anymore. It just if you're a parent, you should not be giving, your kid a phone when they're 6 or 7. And I think that eventually that'll be something that's known. But right now, it's just all too new, the technology, and we don't really know. I mean, maybe it won't affect the kids. I got a phone when I was like 13, 14, maybe. Really, I got an iPod, fourth generation, when I was like 12. You really, with an iPod fourth generation, you don't have cellular data, so you need Wi-Fi to be connected. But all of that's been phased out, and then they just go straight to the phone now. And they're like 7 or 8 years old. How hot do you think those fires were in the World Trade Center? There's a photo of one of the there was an entire floor, I believe, in the North Tower that was fully engulfed on fire, and you could see inside of the windows. The entire floor was just this red yellow. The entire floor throughout every window. I think it was in the North Tower. There was an entire floor that was on fire to where like you could see the entire thing was just every single window just engulfed with just that like red just death flame. Flight 77 hijacker pilot had commercial. Well, they all had training in Florida. I miss getting an iPod fourth generation and it being sick. I used to play zombies. You remember there's the Call of Duty World at War Zombies. Yeah, dude, all that stuff is just like that's how fast technology moves. You know how obsolete that is now. Remember the Nano, the iPod Classic? I never had a Classic or anything like that, but there's like a Classic you could store all these songs on. Jet fuel can't melt steel beams. Yeah, well, I think the argument is that it didn't really. Basically, the floors all sagged on top of each other, and the structure's integrity gave way. And I mean, you can actually see in the South Tower the structure bending inward, as opposed to some explosive on the inside igniting it. If F DR video on YouTube of the plane hitting the Pentagon is real. The maneuver is not as extreme. Well, that's it's not really a maneuver. It's being able to properly time a plane's flight path to hit a very, very small area going at an insane speed. There was really no maneuver that it did. It's about decreasing the altitude of the plane at the direct exact time, being able to fly low enough to be able to hit, because the Pentagon is not a tall building. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for this live stream. Are you worried about 2026? People are saying it's gonna be like 2018 and 2006. What can we do to stop it? I'm a little bit concerned about the economy. To me, like, I mean, Trump is definitely going to help the economy, but I don't know. There's some things within the economy that I don't think really add up that I think liberals did to try and ensure a you know a reelection that might end up coming to hurt Trump. Some short sighted things that they did. So what's the best way to trade meme coins? You look at MetaMask and it hit with yeah. I mean, well, Solana. If you don't want fees, you're gonna want to use Solana and Radian. You're not gonna get bad fees with that. You'll get like a 30 cents or whatever, not even. You're gonna want to use if you don't want to deal with fees, Solana or BNB, so Pancake Swap. Did you cover the New Jersey drones? Drones? Yeah, I did. All right, guys. I'll see you.